Chicago Bulls reportedly looking to move Lonzo Ball before the trade deadline, aiming to either secure draft capital or manage their salary cap. While there's buzz around the league about his availability, the specifics of his contract, rumored to be around $21.4 million. The Los Angeles Lakers have been mentioned in trade talks, but their interest seems more focused on other former players like Brandon Ingram rather than Ball. Now, Brandon Ingram is an interesting case. He's injured right now. He's expected back in January. He's also got some injury issues, but I really like Brandon Ingram. He would require a big contract after this season, which is what makes him a tough fit for the Lakers.
I've always been a big fan of his. I know there were some issues with fit because he played that 1 year with LeBron and they didn't always, fit perfectly. But he makes $36 million.
Yep.
So the question would be, if you wanted to extract Brandon Ingram from the Pelicans, how do you make the money work?
Is that the question, or is the question, how are you going to re-sign Brandon Ingram and stay under the second apron or whatever that is?
If you traded for him and he plays well, then you cross that bridge. If you trade for him and he doesn't fit or he doesn't play well, you just let him go to free agency. And so, again, to me, the big issue is, what do you give up in order to try that experiment?
Well, I think that, first of all, it would be, you'd have to give up a bunch of stuff, but there's a deal there to be made.
Well, would you give up both your number ones?
For Brandon Ingram, if I knew I was going to sign him, maybe.
So you'd have to do that, and you'd have to somehow trade two players whose money gets you around $36 million. I mean, you can do it. You could do it with D'Lo and Rui, and you'd be home. But you'd have to give those guys up.
Right.
And I don't know, would New Orleans do that?
Well, they're looking for expiring stuff, right? They want to open the playing field for them. So
D'Lo's expiring,
so that has value to New Orleans. There are deals to be made there. I don't know if that's the direction they're going to go. I love Brandon Ingram, and he did just sign with Clutch, incidentally.
That helps.
Yep, that makes a difference.
So the only thing I wonder about for David Griffin and the Pelicans, if you do that, if you trade Brandon Ingram back to the Lakers, you're essentially getting nothing in return for AD. You no longer have Lonzo. You no longer have Larry Nance. You would no longer have Brandon Ingram. Those picks turned into basically nothing. So you really got nothing, and you gave Anthony Davis to the.
Yeah, but I think you have to look forward, not back.
Would David Griffin look at it that way? Because that was the big piece of that trade.
Yeah, but I mean, they've gotten value from Brandon Ingram.
How?
They had at least one playoff appearance, didn't they?
I don't think so.
They have not made the playoffs with Brandon Ingram?
No, remember last year we knocked him out.
Yeah, they moved.
We knocked him out of the play-in tournament.
And so Ingram, did they have anybody left from that deal?
No. It was just draft picks.
But I don't think you can worry about that. I think you have to look forward.
Oh, yeah, if you're David
you're
Griffin, you're thinking about tomorrow, not now.
I mean, he got lauded for it, for getting so many draft picks, getting 3 good players, young players, and it turns around and has nothing.
I think Josh Hart was in that deal.
Josh Hart, and he's gone.
Yeah.
Actually, Larry Nance went somewhere else. Larry Nance, I don't think
went
was in
to
that
Cleveland,
deal.
I think.
Yeah, so I don't think Lance's Hart was. You're
Yeah.
right. And he's not there.
No, not there. So there are a couple of players floating around that have been linked to the Lakers a little bit. One is Lonzo Ball. There's apparently some odds maker has listed the places Lonzo Ball is most likely to play next, and the Lakers are the favorite. John, what do you think of the concept of Lonzo Ball returning to the Lakers?
I like it, depending what they would have to give up.
Right.
I know LeBron likes him.
Yeah.
Again, he's very similar to what we were talking about last hour with health. He's got that Joel Embiid, Zion Williamson health track record.
Yep.
But if you didn't have to give up a lot to get him, I would roll the dice on him, sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's played 9 games this year.
Right.
I don't know what you're getting.
Momo did a deep dive on him.
I know, but he's done he's missed better part of 3 years.
2 at least.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm in the business for that. What about Markelle Fultz, who's a full-on free agent?
I don't know if he does the things that the Lakers need. In other words, the Lakers need somebody who can defend and make threes.
Yep.
Lonzo, when healthy, can do both those things. Markelle Fultz, I'm not so sure.
No, he's not really a shooter. He scored 8 points a game last year.
I'm surprised he didn't hook on somewhere.
He does attack the basket.
Yeah. The Lakers have plenty of that.
Yeah. So, might not make sense. They could use another point guard, but I don't think he's necessarily the answer. So some of the names floating around. I just say people want to make a move to make a move. That's what the average Laker fan is. I want a move. I want something to happen, and I want it now. That's what Laker fans are saying. And there's nothing really. We just passed December 15th, so now guys can be traded. I don't think we're going to see anything until the trade deadline. Do you, John?
I'm not sure. It's really hard to make trades now.
Yeah.
Really hard. And
the many aprons.
The two teams that kind of control the next 5 drafts
right.
are Oklahoma City and Utah.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma City is really good. They might win the title this year.
Yep.
So I don't think they're going to necessarily be looking to spin anybody off, but their phone's going to ring anytime a big name moves because they control so many draft picks.
Yep.
Utah's the team to watch with Jordan Clarkson and Lowry Markkanen and Keontae George and a
Walker Kessler.
Yeah, and a ton of draft picks. That's a team that could be active at the deadline. Same thing with Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn's going to have a fire sale. They already traded Dennis Schroeder to the Warriors.
Right.
And I think Dorian Finney-Smith could be next.
We could have used Dennis
Cam
Schroeder. He would have been
Johnson
good for us.
Could be next. Yeah, but do you only have 2 tradable first-round picks? Do you want to give one of them on Dennis Schroeder?
Did it take a first-round pick?
I think that's what it's gonna be. At the
he got traded to Golden State. What did he get?
DeAnthony Melton and a first-round pick is what I heard.
Yeah, I don't want to give up first-round. Although you could use him, man. He's a pesky defender. I'd
have to look it up. It may just be DeAnthony Melton since he's an expiring contract.
Yeah, he's been hurt all year too.
Yeah.